Hello and welcome to the first ever Make Electronic Sound video. This is the first in a series of videos showing you how to use our first product, which is Annaliis synthesizer. It's a polyphonic virtual synthesizer, but it's pretty different. Essentially, you have three isomorphic views. The first view would be the conventional user interface you're used to. Second would be what I call the Paint UI, and the third is Colourfully Unique UI. My original concept, which I developed with designers a long time ago, actually back in 2014, so a decade ago, believe it or not, was that each slider, each parameter in the synth is represented by colour. So as I change patches here I've got Tallinn Old Town Chords. Here I've got the moon. So each patch, each synth sound, each patch, each preset has its own unique color profile. Each slider has a range of colors. Take a look at the profile. We can move to Event Horizon, actually the next patch. It's almost the same, but it is different. And I can literally see, you can see we've got extremely similar patches there. They've got a very similar color profile. Can you imagine a screen with 20 or 30 Annalises on it? You wouldn't be able to visually, with a conventional user interface, with a traditional user interface, the knobs with their values, you would not be able to pick out similar and distinct patches. But with our Colourfully Unique system, you are able to do that. And that's important already in, not so much in the Paint UI, but in the Colourfully Unique UI. But it's going to be extremely important in future plans I have for the product. It's all about visual. Can I see the difference and similarities between patches? Let's go through randomly various patches here. Yeah, I'm seeing some envelopes moving in the envelope section in the middle, seeing some knobs moving, but our brains are very good at categorizing things by color. So if I do the same thing here, then you've got some really different patches. You'll be able to draw a distinction between patches that are different, and you'll also be able to pick up on patches that are very similar. That's the idea in a nutshell. Here's a rundown of when and why you would use the three separate views. So here's the conventional UI, conventional, traditional user interface. Now, what the other views are for, the Paint UI this is just somewhere you want to go, just get deep into the sound to paint the sound. So it's just somewhere where you can experiment with the sound of a single synth patch. You can just draw your own sound. I don't know, maybe you had a long day at work and you want to just switch on the headphones, take a few nice patches and just paint the values, see how it sounds. Then the Colourfully Unique UI, you can also paint here, by the way. This is somewhere where you'll combine, using the auxiliary bass, you will combine patches into a single patch. This is a very powerful screen. You can see very clearly the differences in illus, telescopic matter, and bassy brassy. Just looking at the envelopes alone, you can paint from one of the auxiliary patches. Here is your deep view where you're going to make fresh patches using more than one patch. You will typically need here at least two patches loaded up in the auxiliary bass. This is your patch area where you're going to work. You're going to make your own creations, your own totally unique, colourfully unique creations using 2 or 3 bays, okay, with different sounds, your favourite sounds. You can use multiple patches that you made or from the factory sound bank, and you can use those, you can blend them in an infinite number of ways actually. And part of that, it does help if you have visually distinct patches, because it helps you to see the difference in them. That's it. That's the 3 views. So you might ask, why do I need 3 views? Well, you don't have to ever leave the traditional view, because the sounds, I think, speak for themselves. I think the synth sounds beautiful, and we've got some excellent sounds like created for you. The same can be said for the other 2 views as well. You can, again, go through your sounds here. Maybe the sort of person that never tweaks a patch. You could stay here, just have the visual of the colourfully unique profile, or you could do loads of tweaking here. That is really the idea. It's quite simple, and it has quite a lot of implications for sound design, and it has a lot of implications for use in those 2 separate views. Anyway, this is like a real intro video. I'm going to go much deeper, do a whole series of tutorials. And yeah, I wanted to just talk about the 4 schemes, which I haven't actually shown you. Here's Early Autumn, here's Northern Lights, here's Rainbow Sorbet, and here's Zgitos. And yeah, there's much more to come. It's colourfully unique. Go and download it. You can download for Apple, Silicon, Intel, and Windows.